Yeah.
My brand.
Howdy.
What up?
What's going on,
What's up,
everybody?
guys?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. We already got 7 people hopped on. That's pretty good. And some comments already coming in.
Daryl was on top of it.
We need to start doing something, giveaways for the first person to hop in.
It's usually me.
I know it is. Well, you were the first one here. You were already in here talking with us. So yeah, man. We got quite a few folks watching already. That's awesome. It's gonna be a good show, that's for sure. Weather is phenomenal out on the west side of
It's
Florida right now.
I mean, it's been cold down here this week. 62 degrees. That was a little bit chilly the other day.
It's chilly anytime it gets under 80 for you, Sean.
Yeah, it was 62. Like I saw like hooded sweatshirts pulled down, like where you could only see this much. The little furry boots in Miami. Like the iguanas aren't quite falling out of the trees yet, but I mean.
Oh yeah,
Wiz is on here.
Kenneth, man, what's going on? Reach out to me, Kenneth, whenever you get a chance. Yeah, after this live or whatever. If you don't got my number, just send me a message, and I got your number, so I'll reach out to you. But yeah, we got 10 folks already on, so just kind of give you guys a little rundown on what tonight's live is going to be about. I reached out to the top 3 from our first event. So Scott Gibbons, Chris Mitchell, and Sherman Bishop. Sherman is on his way home from work, so he's not wasn't going to be able to join us. And then for those of you that don't know, Chris Mitchell is up on Lake Gunnersville competing in the KBF Challenge Series Championship. Today was day 1, so he's in contention. So right now he's focusing on what he needs to do tomorrow to stay in contention. So we have Scott Gibbons with us tonight. He's going to introduce himself here in a minute, but we're going to talk to you a little bit, and then we're going to kind of move forward on the live and showcase some of the new jerseys and kind of how that process is going to work. Talk a little bit about Toho tournament and a couple other things that we're going to address just from the first event to make sure that everyone is tracking for the upcoming Toho event. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Todd, and he is going to take the show from here. So what you got going on, Todd?
All right. Welcome, everyone. This nice October Thursday afternoon. It's exciting here to be on the FKBT live. Yes, sir. And we've got in our room today the one, the only Mr. Scott Gibbons. Welcome, Scott.
Mr. G Money is what I'm going to call him.
G Money. That is him.
What's up, guys?
This is like Mr. Headwaters right here.
I'm
2 years in a
going
row.
to start calling him Scott Moneyman Gibbons.
He took home some money. So, Scott, I tell you what, let's just start off. We got a lot of new members here. So introduce yourself, tell them where you're from, and maybe a little bit how you got into fishing and all that good stuff. Just a little bit about yourself.
Originally from Michigan. Moved down here to Florida right after high school. Always grew up around lakes, rivers, and then down here just fished mostly saltwater. I didn't even start fishing freshwater till 2015, and it just something clicked, and that's pretty much all I do now. So.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, you've learned it very, very well, because you were, it seems like in most of our tournaments last year, you were always in contention if you wasn't already in the money. You know, yeah. You're right there in it. So you've got it dialed in. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Very consistent.
A lot of work goes into that, though. You ask any of the top guys, and it's just a lot of work that people don't even think about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting to know new lakes, you know.
So do you do a lot of pre-fishing beforehand?
Depends on the lake. With headwaters and Okeechobee, not really, because I'm really familiar with those lakes. Those are the lakes I kind of, cut my teeth on. So.
And you cut money on them last year, and you've already started this year.
Yeah. Last year was awesome. Two second places, third in the state championship.
Yeah,
quite happy with that.
We're gonna have to start this. I've been thinking about this. What can we do as a club to challenge you guys who win on a consistent basis a little bit more? So we might have to start throwing some making you guys start out with negative inches so that you at least level the playing field out. What do you think about that? You got to start out. What do they call it? Start out with
they're handicap.
Handicap. Right? Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, I got enough handicaps already. I don't need another one.
So let's do something fun here before we get going into this headwaters thing. So Scott, tell us something about yourself that nobody knows.
Ooh.
Do I want to admit that to the viewing audience? I don't know. Besides fishing, I love to play golf. I love bowling. I love to read. Avid reader, and kind of a workaholic too. So
nice, cool deal.
Nothing out of the ordinary, really.
Let me just tell you, if you guys get to know Scott Gibbons and spend any amount of time with him, like Chris Parker says this.
I can't read. What did I say?
Scott has OnlyFans.
There's something for everyone, I guess.
Hey, but if you guys ever get to spend any amount of time with Scott, you're gonna know he's a great guy. Good conversation to have with him. Always good conversation. We had a lot of fun at the championship, getting to spend time those 2 days with you and Chris Parker and a lot of the other guys. It was even Thomas Woodring, and a lot of us kind of all hung out at the campground there, and it was really, really cool getting to know you guys on that level and kind of spend some time with you. So we definitely appreciate, and you're always a fun conversation. I promise you that. So
yeah,
for sure.
And he's a butcher, so don't get on his bad side.
I can handle it. Yeah, when I'm not catching fish, I'm chopping them up.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. Nice.
So, Scott, let's go ahead and step off into your day. So, you launched at Headwaters.
Put in at the boat ramp. I mostly fish the east side. I know that area pretty much like the back of my hand. Since I don't have a motor on my kayak, my range is kind of limited because I'm old and I get tired. So I go where I know the fish are. But that morning, the way the wind was blowing, what I was doing is looking for small islands that had a gap between them, so that west wind was pushing water through there, and that water kind of funnels through there and pushes the bait in there, and those fish kind of set up along the edges and on the back sides. So I was paddling up to one, and I saw a shiner just kind of like take off towards the reeds, and I'm like, okay, let me see what that is, and threw up there, and my first fish of the day was my 22-inch. So I'm like, cool.
That's a heck of a way to start the day.
Yeah. And just kept working that area, got down a little farther, switched over to my spinnerbait, my favorite. Picked up.
So where did you catch the big one on?
Speedworm.
Speedworm. Cool.
I use speedworm probably 75% of the time. Moved on down a little ways, started throwing the spinnerbait, picked up my 18 3/4. It was probably 19, but I couldn't get that tail to stay down. So he was, 18 3/4. And then it just kind of shut off for me once that wind stopped and that clouds cleared. And I kind of rely on the cylinder tables a little bit. And the first major wasn't until noon. So I went quite a while without even getting a bite. And once the window opened, I started picking up a few fish here and there, and I lost a couple, not huge fish, but they would have moved me up in maybe in the second place. But just hitting key points and areas that I thought would be productive. Points, pockets.
What is really interesting when you're talking about the islands, of course, me, I'm still getting used to all this Florida stuff, but I'm sitting there kind of sitting in topped out hydrilla, right? And I literally watched one of them mats just float away from me. The wind pushing it.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty amazing. And looking like it's just great big huge island just being pushed away.
I was fishing Kenansville a few years ago, and it was pretty breezy, and I was bumped up against a mat, flipping and punching, and not really paying attention to what was behind me, and a big mat just kind of blocked me in, and I pretty much just got stuck there. It took me probably half an hour just to paddle my way out through 30 feet of hyacinth. Started getting a little concerned after a while when I wasn't going anywhere. Like, oh crap, I'm stuck.
It's scary. That's scary out there, getting blown in by those huge mats that are pretty much like miniature islands themselves.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's not smart.
So
Did
pay attention to your surroundings.
Yep, that's right.
I was gonna say I know, I don't know if you did some pre-fishing leading up to the event, but I know a few of us were out there probably out 2 months, a few weekends here and there leading up to the event, and everything changed in that last week. A lot of the areas that I was pretty successful in just look completely different going from a week out to the week of the event. Did your areas change a lot from the last time you looked at them? Or no, and how'd the water? I know personally the water level changed a lot from the morning to the afternoon where we were fishing at, or a few of us. Though you saw the water level completely change throughout the day. How did that affect you any, or no?
I never even noticed the water level change. But
yeah. I mean, it was real noticeable, kind of in the spots I was fishing, just because. Hydrilla was pretty submerged, and eventually by the early afternoon, those hydrilla mats started getting a little bit more exposed in certain spots, and it kind of changed the position of the fish. And I found them late, a little bit too late, but I was just curious if your areas changed a lot, because there was a lot of shift out there with changing the wind direction and everything.
It changes on an hourly basis.
For sure it does.
All depends on which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah, a lot of those major mats, but that wind shift from the south to the north, and then it came out of the west, it kind of changed a lot for my area and kind of repositioned the fish. But I know personally, my area went from like quality to dinks. Like the dinks were still there, but the quality kind of moved, and it was pretty difficult for myself to relocate them. But
didn't it closed off the Escanal that morning, didn't it? Was the Escanal open and then it shut up? Because I know my plan was at a certain point to go down and take the 45, to turn out, and couldn't get to it. It was closed up. Had to turn around and go back.
I got a question for you, Scott.
Yeah.
When do you plan on getting a different kayak, one possibly with a motor?
I just got to pick the right 6 numbers, and I'll be there.
Well, what would you do if you won a kayak for Angler of the Year? Would you fish it or sell it? Fish in it or sell it?
I'll definitely fish it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you keep on putting up those numbers. You might find yourself winning Angler of the Year and taking home a new kayak. So.
Yeah, I'll take charity too if anybody's got one. No, mine's it's It's my best friend's kayak, and he passed a few years ago. He's the one that got me into bass fishing, and his mom gave me his kayak when he passed, and I've been fishing out of that ever since.
Well, no wonder you're winning all this money and doing
It's got
so
some good mojo on it.
Yeah, you got him. You got an angel up there helping you, man. I would never get rid of that thing. I'd always fish out of it if that was the case.
Yeah, I was instructed by his mom, don't ever sell it.
Yeah.
So,
No, you've got a Hobie, right? Is it a Hobie Outback or a Hobie PA?
It's Outback. An Outback. It's an older one right here. It's an older model.
2016.
Yeah.
The fast one.
Not that fast.
Hey, but it's built well and it's lasted, and you catch a lot of fish out of that thing, man.
I've caught a ton of fish out of that, and that thing's got some miles on it too. I've been all over the state, all over the country, really.
Yeah.
And it's not cracked like Sean's and Bailey's, is it?
It's got some cracks in it. Yeah, it does.
Hey, Scott put some miles in there. We were out in Headwaters. What was it, over the summer with you?
Yeah.
You were way down there with us, kind of plunking around.
Yeah.
Putting in the miles.
He puts in those miles, man. He might say he's old and out of shape, but I wouldn't put that many miles on. Actually, no, I put about 16 on them on last Saturday, but I couldn't walk for 3 days after that. I'm still recovering from last Saturday.
I mean, we motored around the whole day, and Scott's following us around with his pedals.
Yeah.
No,
it's not that bad, is it, Scott?
No.
It's something.
I've been doing it so long.
Orange kayak. It's easy to pedal. The orange kayak is easy to pedal.
Yeah. And tomorrow we're gonna go hit Kenansville tomorrow.
Yeah, the canal's opened.
The canal's opened up. That's good.
Yeah,
that west wind cleaned it up. So yeah, I had to pressure wash the driveway next. Yeah, that was it was a. So I got a question for you too, Scott. So what made you come back and fish the FKBT this year? You know, you did well last year, but I know we had spoke a little bit in the off season, and you just weren't sure if you were going to be able to fish as much as you wanted to this year. So kind of give us a rundown on kind of what your thoughts were of the FKBT last year, and kind of what your expectations are for this year.
Last year was, like I say, it was my best year competing so far. I liked the way it was run. Just had a great time. Met a lot of cool people. This year, same thing. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not crazy about some of the rule changes, but it's not gonna stop me from competing and making as many events as I can. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna start keep plugging away at it.
Well, that's good. One thing is we didn't make the rules change near as bad as MLF did.
Oh God! What, they're cutting it down? They're cutting the field down to 50.
Yeah, 2025 is when it officially kicks in, right? Kind of the way I understand.
Well, they're about to make the cut. They're about to name the 50 the list, I think, here in the next couple weeks. From what I just read. Yeah,
I agree with if I can get my thing here, I agree with Greg.
No, and then at the end of the day, Scott, I'm super excited. When I saw your name pop up on the roster to fish for the event, I was excited because I know we enjoy the conversations and having you out there. We enjoy having all the anglers out there, and the conversations that we get to have and the people that we get to meet is the reason why we get to do what we do, and have fun while doing it. No drama, and just going out there and fishing. However, Fellsmere was full of drama kind of at the end, not in a bad way. Well, depends on which way you look at it.
Yeah.
We had two anglers that, kind of got thrown curveballs with the weather. So yeah.
Well, one might have been weather related. The other was
gator related.
Gator related, yeah.
Lizard related.
Yeah.
So no, at the end of the day though, I'm glad everyone was safe, and especially for those folks that don't run motors and being aware of your surroundings. It was beautiful, sunny out there, but at the end of the day, the wind can throw everyone a curveball there, and tip some kayaks. It can cause a lot of different things to happen, especially on some of the bodies of the water that we fish. So I'm glad you made it back safe. And you didn't face any challenges out there as much as some of us did on the other side of the lake across from the levee. It would have been different if the wind didn't kick up like it did. At least 2 would have made. Yeah. Again, I'm surprised that not a lot of people got into the 100-inch mark on that event. I mean, each time that we went out,
surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But the way that it's been fishing it's really surprising. We had 45 folks out there this year. Last year we had 48, so we were just 3 shy of what we did last year. But at the end of the day, there's quality fish out there, and there had been quality fish caught for months leading up to that event. So I thought 100-inch day would have been easy for five folks to hit. So
yeah, it was a change of events that I didn't expect on Headwaters.
Yeah, so it's a challenge, but obviously, Scott, you know what you're doing. You got something dialed in there, and it's fun to watch.
Scott's got it dialed in on the heavy wind days, because even on Okeechobee last year, well, Headwaters last year was very windy and rainy. Okeechobee, it was very windy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and rained at the end.
It was windy. You got it dialed in on those hard, windy days. There's no doubt about it.
As much as I hate the winds, it's like my biggest enemy. But take advantage of it. Use it to your advantage. Make it work for you, not against you.
Kenneth, yeah. So Kenneth had 54 inches left to submit. So that brings me to say, and not, because it was unfortunate what had happened to Kenneth, and we're gonna try to take care of him. But yeah, don't hold on to your fish submissions. As soon as you catch that fish, submit it, because you never know if your phone's gonna take a drink. And you can be left out of it could potentially put you out of place. So always, hopefully it's a reminder to everyone to make sure if you catch a fish, do everything you can in your power to get that fish submitted as quick as possible, so that you don't lose out on those valuable inches that can make or break you in that category.
That's why we use the rogue fishing, the phone tethers.
Yeah, so Kenneth, there's a couple things that I'm gonna give you when you get back and get back into the tournament, and one is a rogue tether. In his situation, I don't know if it would have mattered. I mean, it could have, but yes,
if it was tethered to him, it would have.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Kenneth hooked up with a rogue, whatchamacallit, a gift basket, for sure. But no, Scott, man, you got anything else for him, Todd? You had any other questions?
No, just a big congratulations, Scott. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fellowship pre-tournament that morning. That was a lot of fun sitting there talking with you guys, and a great congratulations on an awesome day for you. 2 years in a row. So
thank you.
He took home $550 for third place in Big Bass. $550 you took home for the first event. So
it's huge.
That's big.
You never know. That's why you always check that big bass. Put that extra $10 in there, because that could be anybody.
Yeah, it's
anybody can have a good day.
It was your first fish. There was a 20.5 caught at like 6 minutes in, and then your fish was the next fish caught, right? So the first, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh, today's gonna be. You need to better go find big fish today. And then all of a sudden, the leaderboard stopped, and then it just around 11, it just went all the way to we reached over 90 fish to 100 fish in between, like an hour and a half mark there. So
that's right about when that bite window opened up.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, man, Scott, I appreciate you. We all appreciate you coming on and sharing some input and sharing your insight and kind of your thought process behind how you break down water, but also, why you chose to come back and fish with the club this year. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you do and with the club too. So
you're going to be at Toho?
Probably not, because of the new job. But Kissimmee, I'm probably going to be doing Kissimmee.
Awesome. Well, let us know if there's anything we can do, and we look forward to seeing you out on the water, Scott.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good work this past weekend, sir.
All right. See you later, Scott. All right. So just had Scott Gibbons on. Fantastic gentleman there. Always love hanging out with him and seeing him be successful out on the water. But we had Sherman Bishop too. Sherman Bishop finished second in this event. If you didn't have a chance to see the Fishing Chaos leaderboard, so Sherman, he had how many total inches? Sherman had 90 and a quarter. And first place for the Fellsmere Stick Marsh event is Chris Mitchell. So Chris Mitchell won with 94 and a half inches. Leading with a 20 and 3/4 inch bass. So Scott Gibbons took home big bass with a 22 inch. Chris Mitchell was right behind with a 20 and 3/4, and then Timothy Campbell in third with a 20 and a half. So top of the leaderboard was pretty stacked though, from third place all the way down to 11th place was all within a couple inches of one another. So it was still a tight race. I know I lost a key fish that would have easily broke that tie for fifth. It would have challenged the fourth place mark there, I think. But so it was a day of catching many fish for some, and a day where it was hard to catch one. So, not calling any names, but
Todd.
I'm just kidding. But to be fair, Todd's game plan was the same as it was on Instapoga, and the dude put up 100 and something inches in like 30 minutes. So you can't fault him for the logic there. But Todd, you never even pre-fished. That was your first time even on that body of water. And it was a tough day to be on that body of water. So, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So real quick,
my plan didn't pan out the way I wanted it to because that canal got blocked, and
yeah.
And of course, I don't know the lake, so I know there's probably other ways around it. And pedaling, I wasn't going to go that far around. So,
no, that's a good point. Yeah, so always be familiar with the bodies of water. If you get a chance, go out there and pre-fish it. Put in some time, put in some work, so that you can walk away with some money at the end of it. But also, utilize our monthly challenges to utilize your monthly challenges to get to know those bodies of water and win a little bit of money too while doing it. So, is my internet lagging?
No, I think it's you, Robert.
Am I?
You guys are both coming through great for me.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that. Chris Mitchell.
Oh, whoa! Look at this guy. Hold on, he's still white. Oh, there he is.
Who's that?
He's on that Alabama cell phone service right now.
It's the T maybe plan up in Bama. What's going on, Mitchell?
Okay, I've never seen Mitchell in a hoodie.
Can you?
Yeah, we'll remove him for now, and then we'll bring him back on whenever his.
There he goes.
Is he there?
No.
Let's double check him.
Here,
hey, Mitchell. Mitchell, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
I don't know if that was a thumb up.
Nice. What up, buddy?
No, yeah, we're gonna remove him. He.
I think he's like.
His mic mute.
Yeah, we'll work with him on the back end, Sean. If you want to work with him on the back end, we'll just keep pressing forward. So, so we got Chris Mitchell. We're going to try to figure out what's going on with his audio and whatnot, and then whenever he gets able to hop on, we'll hop on. Can you hear us? Yeah, he just tell him to.
His mic is.
Yeah, I think he's got us now. Let's see. We'll try this one more time, Mitchell.
He's muted.
Unmute yourself. I got it.
He's coming to us live from the from Lake Gunnersville campground.
Hey Mitchell, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you.
All right.
I feel like it's a slideshow here.
I do too. I'm gonna remove him. It's not
Yeah.
good. Sorry, Mitchell. You're done. You're in the backwoods. So Mitchell's down in Alabama on Lake Gunnersville competing in the Challenge Series Championship, and right now he's in 8th place.
Yeah, he's 6th, 7th, 8th, and Jerry. I just made a post. I completely missed Jerry on the trail series. Yeah, Jerry Burdine. He's sitting in 9th, I believe. So I apologize, Jerry. I made a post. Some of you guys may not know Jerry. I've known him. I think I met Jerry probably about 4 years ago. But he's a member of FKBT this year. He didn't fish with us last year. I made a post. He's been traveling. He's been a traveling fool the last 12 months on the national trails. So just cheer those guys on between Chris Mitchell and Jerry Burdine. They're out there representing the club well for us right now. They're both in the top 10, both Challenge Series and the Trail Series, both being represented. So,
yeah, that's awesome. That's a great event. They're going to be doing this Challenge and Trail Series now, and then sometime next year it's going to be the KBF National Championship and the Ambassador Series Championship that we're going to be sending some qualified folks to. So, there's always something to be had when you're out here competing. It's not only for money, but also for the ability to go and fish some of those events with the KBF trail as well. So real quick, we're going to jump into some of the upcoming stuff. So I know Todd is going to talk a little bit about the FKBT apparel that has just been dropped. So I'll kind of let you talk about that first, Todd, and then we'll move into Toho.
All right. So let me pop it up here on the screen. As a lot of you saw, a couple of weeks ago, we put out, the mock-ups of it. And then also, I think today or last night, we dropped the actual image of all the shirts and stuff. So this is kind of what we have. We're going to have your choice of several different options here. We've got your pro tournament jersey with the quarter zip, either in orange or red. You're going to have short sleeve quarter zip in orange or red. You're going to have your regular sun hoodie and your regular sun crew neck in orange or red on either one. There's also an option of a fleece hoodie if you want a heavier duty. I know Bailey gets cold a lot, so he's going to have to get him one of those. And then also we've got your neck gaiters or face shields, which is an option there. So I'm going to drop down here in the link where you can go on and order them. So this is live right now. So you're welcome to go in there and start ordering whatever you would like. On the front of each jersey that you see, there's a couple of options there. And those you can put in as many logos as you want in those two places. Just be sure to try to upload a vector file if you have it, or as high resolution PNG as you have.
Or hey, Todd,
they have a lot of logos already on hand. But if they don't, they may reach out to you and let you know that they can't work with that, or it's going to be too low res. Reach out to your sponsor and get a higher resolution. What happens is whenever you fill all that out, what they'll do is they'll create a proof for you, email it to you so you can see it and approve it. And you pay for all of it right there online. Yeah.
Everything's done through there. That's awesome. And then if you guys want something that's a little low key, or a little bit more low key than these, get with Todd. He can get you guys these style shirts or do hats, whatever, because we're getting an order for that prepared too. And I think Todd's going to build out a layout kind of similar to this for you guys to be able to submit an order through him for those as well. But definitely these right here, your option to put your sponsors and your stuff on the front of the jersey and represent your brand right there, as well as the club. So that's a great opportunity, Todd. I really appreciate you reaching out to those folks and having them set this up for us. It's awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing them out on the water. They're going to be great.
Oh, and one more thing before somebody, gets back to us and say that the flag is in the wrong position on the right sleeve. We've already addressed that, and it will be flipped like it's supposed to be, so yes. We caught that at the 9th hour. So,
yes. Anyway, it has to be on the left sleeve.
So the actual flag is going to be on the right sleeve, so it's going to be flipped like it's supposed to be for everything.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And one other thing too is just that I didn't mention here. So if you want to rep your kayak logo, there's a spot that you can put that on there, whether it's Hobie, Native, Old Town, whatever it is. You can actually put your kayak logo on there, and then you can also put your first name, first and last name on the front, last name, whatever name you want to put on the front. There's a space for that, and then also a name on the back if you want it, or you don't have to put a name on there at all. It's up to you.
Now, what if you're someone like myself? Can I put like 6 different kayak brands on there, like just a bunch of ones on my shoulder? Like,
Well, actually, I'm going to create you a new logo that's called a melted plastic kayak.
yes,
And then it's just a blob of plastic that you can put on there.
I appreciate that. Or one, or a water bucket. I should put a water bucket on it with a.
I may just put a crack. We'll just put a crack.
I'll put the cracked kayak. Oh, that would be a good. That would be a good kayak shop. The cracked kayak.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Harrelson, you would be considered a pro if you wear one for sure.
Your PKA.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Todd. Again, we're going to post that link as well to our members only page. So if you'd like to get submit your order, sooner the better. Turnaround time, you said, is about 5 weeks.
Yeah, they said 4 to 6 weeks is what the turnaround time will be on it from when you approve it. Also for Harrelson, I always had a saying. I used to say this when I played golf. Even if you can't play, you got to look the part and look good. Make everybody think that you can.
Yeah, that's part of it. Every time I walk into a captain's meeting at one of the bigger events, I'm like, dang, those guys look good. I'm over here in my makeshift jersey, and I'm like, makes me feel bad. I'm intimidated.
I like that, David. For the kayak logo, make it Velcro so they can change it out.
I like it, like a military uniform, like our rank on the military uniform. So
I think David just needs to use that open section right here on the belly portion and just put all the kayak brands on there.
That's what he needs. He has a Hobie, he has an Outback, he has a Bonafide, I think. He has one of everything.
And then we're also going to put the little Debbie brand on there.
Yeah. He needs to put the little Debbie just face on his stomach at this point. Literally just the little Debbie cake logo on his stomach.
Hey, the little Debbie paid out this past weekend.
It did.
Yeah, people didn't realize what we were doing. It's going to be different each event, so it's not going to be the same thing each event, but we're going to make it worth it, I promise you.
Well, and David, I know you say you got 3 for sale. If you want to pop them in here, tell us what they are. You might get you some bites.
Yeah, Scott Gibbons might look at it. I mean, I'm looking for one that ain't going to break on me or sink. But all right, well, I appreciate it, Todd. We'll kind of move on into the next. I know we're reaching that 38-minute mark now. So our next event, for those of you that are not aware, is going to be on Lake Toho, Toho East, and Toho West. Sean has already posted some information about that onto our members only page. I have already went ahead and built the tournament registration platform on Fishing Chaos. It went live last night. We already have one person signed up for it, Jeff Gallagher, last week checked. So the Toho event is open for registration on Fishing Chaos. And we and I also think, if I'm not mistaken, Van Hunks is going to be out there. This is their first event of the year that they're going to come out to the event, and they're going to be doing some on the water like videoing. So that's more to come on that. We're going to bring Van Hunks and Ty and his team on the podcast, one of these podcasts here soon, and they're going to kind of talk about it. We're going to talk about our partnership with them, and kind of what it's looking like for the 2024 season. It's going to be fantastic. We're excited about what we have in store with them and what they have in store for the trail. They're phenomenal people, and they are really, really, really supporting us in a big way this year. So we appreciate everything that they do over at the Van Hunks Boarding down in Sarasota, Florida. So if you guys are in the market or want to go out and spend the day on a kayak and not have to tote all your stuff to the water, they got a new location where they're doing kayak rentals. You guys can reach out to Ty, and you guys get set up and go spend the day out on the bay down in Sarasota in a Van Hunks. I know that there's a little bar area there too, and restaurant area at their new Tarpon Springs, I think. So yeah, it's a great little venue, and it was a fun opportunity getting out there and hanging out with those guys. So more to come with the Van Hunks team on what they're going to be providing us for the Toho event, but it's going to be fun. What did he say? I hope they bring their PA. Yes. So Kenneth, I'm going to talk to Ty and see what we can do to see if he can, so you can potentially fish out of it for that event and give it a shot. So
Robert's got a PA for sale.
I need that free 50 is what I need.
Yep. And he's also got a cover and trailer for it if needed.
Nice.
Hey,
yeah.
No, I was going to talk. Hey, so for the Toho, East Toho specifically, so for launches, I didn't specify. I specified all public launches and those private businesses that provide a launch with a fee are available launches. You can't launch. A no-go is launching off the side of the road or launching from the backyard of your Airbnb. That's a no-go. Public launches or private launches that allow you to use it for a fee. Those spots are fair game for East Toho and Big Toho. The boundaries, if anybody, I'm probably going to go ahead and adjust the boundary on Boggy Creek. But if one of you guys is going to go out to East Toho this weekend, if you take a look at it, if you go up Boggy Creek, there's a point where it opens up in the Boggy Creek where it opens wide up. That's where I had the boundary set at Boggy Creek. I may go ahead and adjust that up to the road. But if one of you guys is going out there, just hit me up directly. And if you're going to be out there pre-fishing this weekend, just let me know if it's clearly defined enough. But we can talk offline specifically. On East Toho, I think there's really two boundaries off the top of my head. One leading the Fells Cove in the northeast portion, Boggy Creek. I think the rest of it's wide open. The canal leading underneath the turnpike down the Big Toho, that's all fishable water connecting the two. Shingle Creek up to I believe it's John Young Parkway. It's the first bridge you come to up Shingle Creek. The road to the north, just east of Big Toho Marina, Neptune Road, I believe is what the road name is. That's a boundary. You can't go up underneath that culvert and go to the north side of Neptune Road. And down south, you can't lock through out of Lake Toho down south. So boundaries, pretty clear cut, damn near the same from last year. All public, and those public launches available to use, like I said, and those private launches with a fee, kind of like Richardson's. There's one down on the east side of Big Toho that offers a fee. And if you're not familiar with either bodies of water, FWC, I'll go ahead and put the link in there. I didn't do it, but I'll go ahead and edit that post. FWC Boat Ramp Finder is an option you can go to, and you just zoom in on those specific bodies of water, and it's color coded for which ones are open, which ones are closed. And if you click on it, it'll give you a description, how many boat ramps, whether it's a primitive launch. And speaking of primitive launches, Twin Oaks Conservation Area is in play on Big Toho, and the same with Brownie Wise Park, just to the north of Richardson's. It's a small park. They're both primitive launches. They're both in play, just like last year. And those will pop up on the FWC Ramp Finder, Launch Finder. But if you look at Twin Oaks Conservation Area, it's going to say kayak launch or / primitive launch on those. Those are eligible launches if you choose to use those. But there's a caveat to that. You're probably going to be late getting on the water in time for lines in, because those gates, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they open up 1 hour or at sunrise, and they close at sunset is the specific verbiage. So that it's an auto gate. If you go to Twin Oaks Conservation Area, nobody's going to open the gate. It's going to open up at sunrise and sunset. So it's on a specific setting throughout the year. So it's going to auto open and auto close. Yep. So that's going to put you behind. I've launched out of there during a KBF event. It didn't put me way behind in the wintertime. I was only about 30 minutes behind on lines in for a KBF event out of Twin Oaks Conservation Area. But those are options for you can use. Just understand that you're probably going to be a little bit behind everybody else that uses a public launch that's open already. Need any questions on that? Like I said, caveat, just hit me up if you're going to East Toho this weekend. Just give me a call. You guys have my number. It's posted on the members only page. Just call me directly sometime tomorrow. And if you can do me a favor, that would be awesome. I just need you to go recon something for me before I solidify and say Boggy Creek's cut off at this point versus the road to the north. So, but that is all I have. Post-tournament link up at the Toho events, Big Toho Marina. Just like last year, you're going to have – we gave you 90 minutes. I believe Christopher Bailey posted 1 hour after lines out is check-in for Toho. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so lines out is going to be so I'll go through that here. Are you done with the rules?
Yeah, that's all I got. Unless there's pending any questions from the crowd, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, so just for you guys to know, like for the pre-fishing, the mandatory check-in is going to be at the Big Toho Marina, and it's going to be at 4:00 on tournament day. So that's going to make sure that you guys are aware of that, and that you guys are getting off the water in enough time to get your stuff situated and to be at the Actually, no, excuse me, I lied. 4:15. Is going to be the mandatory check-in time at Big Toho Marina. Because of folks fishing down in that south end and traffic and stuff, it can be a little hectic. But yeah, it's 4:15 is going to be the mandatory check-in time at Big Toho Marina. Lines in is going to be at 07, lines out at 3 p.m., and launch time is going to be 1 hour before lines in.
And it's going to stay that. For the rest of the year, it's going to be 06 launch time, 07 lines in. Fellsmere is the only event that's going to differ the timeline. It's already done and over with. We don't have a tenor rock this year. So 6 o'clock launch, 7 o'clock lines in, 3 o'clock lines out the rest of the year.
And 3:30 submission.
Last submission is 3:30. So
7:22 was last week, so.
Yeah, Daniel. What's going on, Daniel Higgins from Alabama?
Oh, shit. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
I wonder if he's wearing his American flag Speedo and watching us right now.
We don't talk about that.
So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, remember, you can always reach out to Sean, myself, or Todd. But I'm going to make another pitch here. Those monthly challenges right now, we're sitting at, I think, 11 for the month again. Just know that you guys are fishing other events in the state throughout the month that you got on those bodies of water or whatever. Any body of water that's on our schedule this year, you can fish in any month. So I know this week me and Todd are going up to the Harris Chain to fish in the Gambler Free Tournament. That's on the Harris Chain. So again, that's a gambler free only. That's a gambler tournament where you can only use the gambler baits, but it's on the Harris Chain, right? So you can submit the fish that you catch this Saturday onto that monthly leaderboard. So you could win a gambler tournament potentially, or you can increase your spots in the monthly at a chance to win money there. Because right now it's only if first place is getting paid out. It's based off the top 10% rule. So for the monthly. So those are some big payouts. I've been averaging like $250 to $300 a month for those monthlies, which is not bad at all. You're already fishing it anyway, so why not get into a little side pot action there? So that's my little sales pitch, and it gives you a chance to potentially win your way into the FKBT championship. So yeah. That's my little sales pitch there. Am I missing anything? I knew there was a couple things that we needed to talk about.
I got one thing to throw in there real quick.
Yep.
For all of y'all that's on here watching, go out there and like this page, help boost our numbers. That's always a good thing. It's great not only for the channel, but good for our sponsors to be able to see that there's a lot of interaction going on. So that helps us, get more sponsors, which benefits us all.
Yes. Yep. So we have we'll release what our title sponsors are going to be for the Toho event, and you could expect to get the products that we are going to be giving away at the Toho event are going to be centered around some of those top 3 sponsors. So once we figure out who those sponsors are for that event, we will release those, and yeah, we're going to be giving away quite a bit of stuff throughout this year and putting it back into your guys' pocket. So if there's things that, you know, you might want to be seen given away, or you got any ideas, reach out to us, to Sean, either myself or Todd, and we can see what we can do. And we don't got too much money because we're trying to put a lot of to the aside for the championship, so that we can put a lot of effort and energy and resources into that. But we are still providing a lot of good product at these award ceremonies throughout the year. So I know we just picked up YOLO Tech. I'm building out I'm filling out everything right now to get us associated with the club on that end. Oh, do you want me to mention 13 Fishing or no? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and let you guys know. I'm going to be working on sending another list of members to the 13 Fishing Guides to get you guys accounts created. So one thing I'm going to say with that, if you guys, the names that I'm going to be sending out to 13 Fishing, if you guys already have like a customer account with 13 Fishing, in the next couple days, go ahead and try to deactivate those accounts, or whatever you got to do, because that has caused an issue with some of the account creation. So right now we have 66 members that are current members of our club. And I'm going to be sending out the remainder of the names that are currently members and to our POC, and getting those accounts created, so you guys will be able to have your own account with them as well. So more to come on that. You'll be seeing an email from me personally. I'm not going to divulge too much information over the live, since it is an exclusive offer that they offer our members. So if you have any questions about that, again, just let me know, but I will be sending another email to them this coming weekend. But yeah, that's all I got. Sorry, guys.
I just want to throw out there, that's a very nice blanket you've got there that you're.
Right. It's good.
It's
my wife's. It's very Christmassy. It's Christmas in what are we in right now? October. So yeah. So with that too, we got a lot of stuff going on here in the Central Florida area as far as bass fishing goes. I know Florida Bass Nation has been releasing some of their trail series schedules too, which is cool. We got a couple events that we're going to be sharing bodies of water with and tournaments, so that's going to be really exciting here for this year. So if you guys look at the schedule, you're going to see a couple events where or a couple months where we're doubling up. Take advantage of those months and really put in some work and knock out some of these events. What'd you say, Todd?
And they've got a live coming on at 8:00 tonight as well to go over their events as well.
Who is that? Which region?
I think it's all combined.
Oh, it's all combined. Okay. Yeah.
So with that, the combined event, Seminole and St. John's River, the boundaries currently set for the St. John's River are subject to change, but we'll maintain for the monthlies. I'll leave the boundaries the same, but for the tournament boundaries, they may be updated to align with bass. I'm not.
Yeah.
For the tournament specific is the only thing that could possibly change. I just got to get with Mr. Will Gresham and confirm his boundaries with ours and see if they differ. And I'm not going to change your pre-fishing boundaries. The only thing for the tournament, they may be possibly adjusted. So, and that'll be brief prior to the event. So just a forewarning, Seminole. I know I've been sidetracked at work because we're in the spring semester, hot and heavy at FIU. So I have out to like 5 events boundaries done. I'll finish the rest of them up probably tomorrow after I finish playing basketball, and I'll go ahead and post the remainder of the year's boundaries. Boat launches is, unless I need to specify them, it's going to be the public launches, same launch or boat ramp rules for all the events, unless I need to specify. I'll be very specific on Okeechobee because everybody asks about the rim canal. But if you're inside the levee of Lake Okeechobee and not outside the levee, it's all fishable and eligible water. But
yeah,
outside the levees or the locks is not in play for Okeechobee. But it'll be all specified drop tomorrow. I've been swamped at work, so I've been delayed in getting those out. But fall semester is winding down, so I'll have all that stuff knocked out here probably tomorrow.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we're putting in a lot of work in this, and we also got work and jobs and lives too. So it's been fun. Excuse me, it's been fun. It's definitely going to be a good year, guys. If we can be consistent like we have been on Headwaters, if we can stay into that 30, 35, my dogs are barking. If we can stay into that 35, 40 angler per event mark, the payouts are going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be definitely worth it. So we're looking forward to continuing this season and having you guys come out and be a part of this club. It is only as good as what you guys make it. So continue to support, and we really do appreciate it. So real quick, I want to thank some sponsors. I know we got a couple minutes, but we don't want to run over onto the 8 o'clock time. So if we can just go ahead and talk about some of our sponsors. So I'll start off a little bit with Strike King. We appreciate everything that they've done so far, and we're looking to continue that in a little bit more depth. But Strike King, Van Hunk's phenomenal. I already talked a lot about them. Ty and his crew are phenomenal. Dakota Lithium's doing some great things with us this year, and we're going to be able to give away some batteries and doing a couple more things with them than we did last year. So more to come with those guys, but they definitely have a great battery. And then 13 Fishing, again, I mean, they've been with us since day one. And they offer our anglers a phenomenal experience. So we're definitely grateful to have them be a part of our team this year. And then Todd, I'll toss it over to you.
Yeah, Torpedo, which is a new one for us this year. They've really given us a great package to be able to give out this year, as y'all found out with the Little Debbie award. That was a great gift for us. Torn Outdoors, I can't say enough about John and his family and his crew and his support for us. We really appreciate him and their stuff. Also Rogue Gear, they've been a good supporter of ours so far. If you don't have any Rogue Gear stuff, use the discount and reach out to them and get some stuff there. Also Yak Attack, which, most all of us in fishing, we're very familiar with Yak Attack. If you don't have some Yak Attack on your kayak, you need to get you some, because that stuff comes in very, very handy. And Sean, I'll turn it over to you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Ego Fishing, I kind of gave you guys a glimpse of what they have provided for the championship. So we got a couple Ego S2 slider nets and a couple set of fish grips for the championship specifically, and they provided that code for us. If you guys haven't got your hands on the products or used the product specifically, phenomenal products there. And Spear Point promoting the big bass for us this year. The products just shipped. I know we owe Scott some product. Gino, one of our members, one of my teammates on the Southern Slayers, huge promoter of the Spear Point hooks, phenomenal product there. And we appreciate them coming on and supporting big bass for this year. And Cross Kicks, Bailey's favorite shoes. And I personally have not tried Cross Kicks, but I'm probably going to buy a pair. And
I like mine.
I know Bailey has talked tons and tons about this. And then the greatest supporter ever internally to the club who's doing a lot of work for the club nonstop, and we brag on him all the time, is Todd Quillen and his company, Quilco Printing. We got
one more.
Yep. You guys, and
we're gonna let Harrelson take it out.
No, we got one more after that.
Yeah, YOLO Tech.
And another one.
Toe Thumper. Daryl tried them out the other night, and they definitely get bit. So we want to thank them for sure. That's a great sponsor.
We also got Mondo Fishing. is another sponsor that jumped on
Yeah.
board. So if
Great.
you guys don't know Mondo Fishing, Greg is an actual member of our club, but he runs a business here in the Central Florida area for Mondo Fishing. We're actually going to bring him on one of our lives. I'm going to work it out with him to have him come on. And we can talk and he can kind of promote what he does for the fishing industry. But he also donated a 13 fishing reel for Sherman Bishop at the event. So he's going to be bringing product at each one of the events that we're going to be giving away at those post-event meetups. So Greg, I appreciate everything that you've done so far. And we're looking forward to working with you too for the remainder of the year and everything that you're doing for some of the anglers that lost some product as well. He's going to try to get Kenneth kind of situated back with some gear after what happened on this past weekend. So fantastic, fantastic dude. And we're looking forward to continuing that relationship with him as well.
For sure.
But yeah,
I was going to say, Seth, awesome. Seth, I'll send you an invite
for the club.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So Greg, appreciate everything that you've done so far. Looking forward to having you on the show, but that's all we got, guys. We're right at an hour and a minute, so we don't want to keep you guys too long on a Thursday night. You guys be safe this weekend. If you guys are going out fishing, make sure that you guys are y'all are safe. Keep your head on a swivel, catch some big fish. If you're not signed up for the monthly yet, go ahead and get signed up on the monthly on the Fishing Chaos platform. And if you haven't registered for the Toho event, registration is open, and we're looking forward to seeing you on November 11th down at Big Toho Marina.
I got one more thing before we leave. For Toho, everybody send me, their waypoints for their best and hot spots so I can catch more than one fish.
We'll help you out, Todd. So if you guys know Toho, take Todd out there with you. He hadn't fished too many times out there. So
Toho gets me.
Yep. You guys have a good night. If you're fishing out on the Harris Chain this weekend, send me a message. Maybe we can link up and do something. I know me and Todd are going to be out there for the Gambler Free Tournament. So if you guys are going to be out there, send us a message, post it in the members only chat, and maybe we can link up and say hi when we're out there. So tight lines, and we're going to see you on November 11th.
Peace out.
Peace out.